The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame, with exciting Vol sports prints now available.
This is The Sports Source, presented by Bill Hotz and Associates, and by Renewal by Andersen, with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning. Welcome into The Sports Source, presented by Renewal by Andersen. Happy to have you with us today. For us, it's the final show of the year. Our year always begins with that first football game. So we're going to blow it out today. We've got a lot of people on the show. It's going to be fast-paced. We've even got some music for you. It's going to be a fun one. Let's get right into it. First segment of today's program brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. Right now through August 31st, that means hurry. You have to schedule by the end of the month. But you can buy one window and get another one at 30% off. Buy one, get another one at 30% off with a free upgrade to their Smart Sun Glass, and that's with no money down or interest for 12 months. Renewal by Andersen, you cannot beat them when it comes to doors and windows. They are the best. You can also check out their Knoxville showroom. Renewal by Andersen. All right, want to welcome in the first wave of panelists today. We have Josh Ward and Jimmy Himes are right here. Thank you guys from WNML. Right down there, Mike Strange, resident Hall of Fame sports writer who got a really cool handwritten card from
Peyton Manning this week.
Sent you a congratulations on getting into the Tennessee Sports Writers Hall of Fame.
Peyton's famous for his handwritten notes, and I've got one to prove it.
That's pretty impressive. That's as if people needed another reason out there to like Peyton Manning. There you go. All right. I'm going to get Tom Brady to send you one. We'll see how that goes. All right. As I said, lots to discuss today. We even have an important segment coming up that all men need to see. But let's start by talking about the Volunteers' 5 questions in these first 2 segments. First of all, what's the bigger concern going into West Virginia next Saturday? Is it, if you're a Tennessee fan, quarterbacks or cornerbacks? What are you more concerned about?
I'm going to start with quarterbacks. I'm going to say both are question marks going into the start of the season, John, but I will say quarterbacks because I think starting out against West Virginia, Tennessee is going to have to score points, and I don't think that will be just because of cornerback play. I think you have several questions on Tennessee's defense, and you go up against Will Grier and that passing attack from West Virginia. What the Mountaineers are probably going to be able to do is going to put pressure on, I think it's going to be Jarrett Garantano as Tennessee's starting quarterback. So I think both are big questions. I think the bigger concern will be, can you score enough points? And the quarterback is going to have to lead you there.
Okay. Quarterbacks.
I'm going to go cornerback because your quarterback's going to have to score a lot of points because your cornerbacks aren't going to be good enough to stop them, I think. So I think it's cornerback. Look, if this were Florida, I would say quarterback. But because West Virginia throws it so well, because they have a great quarterback, they got great receivers, you got a true freshman that looks like he's going to start at corner. The other cornerback's going to be unproven, and Alontae Taylor's unproven too. So I think with that question mark, because of West Virginia's great passing game, I'm going to go cornerbacks.
Okay.
And I was determined, they're both good answers. I was going to say whichever one Jimmy didn't say, so I'm going to go quarterbacks. Simply because, like you all said, you're going to have to score a lot of points, and the quarterbacks are going to have the ball in their hands every play. And they're also, you know, it's not like you got a 2-year starter coming back that you know what you got. So you got a guy that kind of had some rough outing last year, some rough outing. So how much has he improved?
Then I'll split the panel. I'll go cornerbacks. Reason being, let's take it as a positive side. If Tennessee's going to beat West Virginia, and I don't think that's going to happen. We'll make our predictions later in the show. But if Tennessee beats West Virginia, more than likely they're going to win the turnover battle. My guess is, as much as West Virginia puts it in the air, okay, Jeremy Pruitt talked about he's got some ball-hawking guys in the secondary now. Maybe we go in with some of these guys we haven't seen a lot of, and Alontae Taylor, who we haven't seen at all, Sean Schamberger, who started 1 game last year. Maybe they get exposed, but maybe they make a couple of plays back there. You pick up a couple of passes, pick off a couple of passes, whole thing could turn around. The most important stat in SEC football, as we did a few years ago, we broke it down over like a 10-year period. Turnovers, and everybody knows this, but if you get +2 in the turnover battle, you win 75-80% of the games. So if the cornerbacks can make a play or two, who knows, maybe you got a shot. My guess is they're going to get burned a lot since they're new, but I'm going to go cornerbacks. That's most important in my view. Will we see Garantano and Christ against West Virginia? Jeremy Pruitt says he'd like to play them both. Word is they don't really have a set. It's not going to be you get 2 series, you get 1. Do we see them both?
I think it's one quarterback. I don't think it's a good thing for Tennessee if both guys end up playing, because I think really what Tennessee would like to do is find its guy at quarterback, and that's who plays throughout the opener, and that's who plays throughout the season. You can't predict health. But if Tennessee is playing multiple quarterbacks, I think it's because they decided they needed to for a negative reason.
I was thrown off a little bit by a recent interview from Jeremy Pruitt, in which he said you've got to get 2 quarterbacks ready, which implied to me that he's going to try to play 2 quarterbacks in this game. However, you could say, okay, he'll get the 2 quarterbacks ready starting with ETSU or starting with UTEP. I'm going to say they're going to go with 1 quarterback because I think Garantano is going to play reasonably well. I think you're going to be in a shootout. I think that Tennessee will have some success against West Virginia. And if you're having success offensively, you don't change quarterbacks. I'm going to go with 1.
Okay.
I'm going to say we see both of them with about a 75-25 split.
All right, very good. You can give us a percentage. Next question. Aside from the quarterbacks, and let's take this not only this game but moving forward throughout the entire season. Aside from quarterbacks, most important player for Tennessee to have success this year, who do they need? If you could guarantee somebody has an all-SEC year, who do you go with? I'll start down there at that end.
It's Kyle Phillips, Congo, Taylor. It's it's either Phillips, Congo, or Darrell Taylor. Somebody getting some pressure on the quarterback off that edge. I just think that's huge if they could be disruptive.
Okay.
You Cavaliers the question.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to go Nigel Warrior. I think the secondary has got to play well. I think he's the best player in the secondary. I think he's going to have to make up for some mistakes that are made by others in the backfield. So I'm going to go Nigel Warrior. He's one of the best tacklers. I think he's one of the best athletes. I think he has to have a big year for this defense to show marked improvement.
Josh, where are you going?
Yeah, all good picks, and I'm going to stay on defense. I'm going to say Shy Tuttle. If he can play really well for you consistently on the interior of the defensive line, also at the end of the season, if you're saying, man, he had a really big year, that means he stayed healthy this year, and that would be really good for Tennessee's defense because I think you have some depth concerns right now along the defensive line. So I'll go Shy Tuttle. I
was going to go Shy Tuttle too, so everyone stays on the defensive side of the ball. I think if you're switching to a 3-4, you better have a good defensive tackle, nose tackle up there in the front. Shy Tuttle's the only guy that's really proven that he's that guy when he's healthy. So you hope he can do it for the entire year. To me, that's the most important guy outside of the quarterbacks for this team to have success. When we come back, impact newcomers. Which of the newcomers is going to have the biggest impact on this team? What's the most under-discussed topic leading into Tennessee, West Virginia? We've still got 2 more VFLs to bring on the show. We've got another media member. We've got other special guests. And we have one more special guest to play us out as we go to break, Knoxville music legend Tall Paul.
Well, my hands are shaking, my knees are weak. This old world keeps on turning fast beneath my feet. So I best keep my balance, or I'll be hanging by this thread. I can't afford no distractions for what lies up ahead. And I want